It's so cool that you're taking the time to do this.
Sure.
The first time I saw you, I didn't know it was you. So there was a New Year's Eve program, and you were on it. I think you were in the Kapitán Demo.
As the character,
as the character.
Sure.
And they were, oh, he's really funny, all my Czech friends. And I was like, I recognize him. And we knew each other from the gym. From the gym. So I was like,
that's right.
It's that guy. For Christ's sake, he's lifting in the gym. So I really appreciate you coming here and doing this, given that you're quite busy.
My pleasure.
Good stuff. In a sense, you're so well known in the Czech Republic. Well, but put it this way, your CV reads like a very prolific creator.
It's been a long story. Yeah.
It's a long story, and not only do you have those alter egos, you've got your own production work. You're working with other musicians, and this is for obviously an English speaking audience. So I'm hoping they will check you out more, because you're someone who like some of your own songs are very touching, I would say, and it's almost like a contradiction to the other egos. But in my sense, you're from like a family of musicians. Did you know early on that this was going to be your life? Was it always like preordained?
Yeah, sure. I knew since I was like 6 or something. It was like the thing. Like I was having these weird moments in my early childhood when I was just hearing the music in my head all the time and imagining the big shows and stuff, and it was like basically obvious I'm gonna just do music and nothing else in my life besides having kids and playing football with them.
That sounds like a pretty good life. Yeah. And when you were 6 and 7, so I'm going right back to the very beginning. So when you were born, so when you were 6 and 7, how did your family, I suppose, support that to get you more involved?
I think it was just basic, we were an artsy family, so it was like normal to be talented, to be and do stuff. So I had an older brother. He was like 2 years older than me. And he was like doing amazing stuff since he was a kid too. So we played these gigs in our room, and then my father has this beautiful working space in my house. That was the piano, and everything was like smelling like a cigarette smoke, and everything was like beautiful and old. And that's where we played. He bought me drums when I was like 8. So I started playing drums to the piano and basically to all kinds of my favorite bands, on the phones. And that's how it all got started.
And in terms of that music that was inspiring you when you were younger, can you remember the kind of...
Of course, yeah. Well, it was lots of stuff. I was never like, narrow, vision guy. I loved all kinds of stuff, like good pop, but also good underground.
Sure.
So I grew up on first the band that I loved the most when I was a kid was U2. Mm-hmm. Then it turned like The Cure, Depeche Mode and stuff, and then it like got to the Smiths, where it stayed for a long, long time until now. I think like I've been listening to Morrissey for like 30 years something, so it's amazing. And I grew up on the indie scene, UK Britpop, I don't know, Nine Inch Nails, all those kind of stuff, the Beatles also, and just, everything that was cool, all genres. I didn't have a limit, and I still don't.
So I have to acknowledge my own lack of musical taste, but like I quite like those musicians you're talking about. Our little side story was that my dad owned a couple of small houses in Dublin, and U2 used to come there because there was a punk rock band I think his name was Gavin Friday. They're called the Virgin Prunes.
Yeah,
They lived in the house, and they were coming. So we were kind of, you know, we have our own little very, very pathetic U2 story.
I think they had a club in Dublin, right?
It's very, very, very possible. Yeah. No, of course, the hotel. The Clarence, was it, or the
Clarence Hotel?
Yeah. Exactly. So
there was a small like lake running through the club or something. I heard. Yeah, I never been there. But when I was in Dublin, because I lived in Dublin for some time in 2001, I think. I used to do gardening for living, and then we got EMI contract, so I had to come back because my first band got signed, so I had to change my life. But we worked in Dalkey, which is where Bono lives, I think.
Dalkey is where Bono lives, or he's in Killiney, but it's certainly... He's around that area, and I know that during COVID, Matt Damon lived in Dalkey, and he was kind of like it's a really beautiful part of Dublin. That area, like that's where Weldon artists kind of head off, because it's also on the south side, and it's beautiful by the coast. The walks are gorgeous. You were frontman of Southpaw?
Yes. Yeah. I was a main writer and frontman, but then, you know, after a time we got together with Karel Havlíček, and we were writing together, and it was beautiful times.
Very cool. That is something that's so interesting to me, is in the energy to want to be the person in front of the audience. How did you... When you were doing those first concerts, when you're actually in there, you know, people are... Can you remember back to what it felt like, or was it something just like a live wire inside your body? Like you could just feel like, no, I'm supposed to be here, that's it, you know, or is there like a...
It was pretty normal to me, because I was on stage since I was like 8 or 7. First, I started as a drummer, actually. Yeah. So I was like, because I was always like nervous a bit. And so it helped me when I played drums. So like I could, you know...
The energy was...
Yes. And then when I was like 18, 16, 17, I started my own band, Southpaw, with my friends. And it was just like normal. We started as a Smiths revival first. And then we just started making our own stuff. And it was amazing. Like, we got to the point where we thought that's it, and there's nothing more in this country to do in this kind of genre, indie. So we just, you know, quit after like 15 years, but we did like, I don't know, 7 or 8 albums or something like that. Yeah.
That must have been something.
Yeah, it was.
But I suppose it's hard to talk to you without bringing up Kapitán Demo and I apologize if I pronounce it terribly.
It's perfect, lovely.
just took you 10 years, Simon, in Czech Republic. But with Kapitán Demo, where did that originate from? Like, how did you feel like? Because obviously there's satire in it. It's an alter ego. He's a figure making fun of things, but also very serious in his own way. So,
I just wanted to change stuff, you know. Like I wanted to find a language that people would hear, and if you try to change something which is like boring, and you know, all these stereotypes of the people. So the comedy is a beautiful way of expressing stuff and changing stuff, actually. And of course, my biggest inspiration was Andy Kaufman, Tony Clifton. Sorry, that's also alter ego of. Yeah. So I saw The Man on the Moon by Miloš Forman, and it was there. I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to have alter ego, which, and I was obsessed by you know, losing my identity a bit, and just like being free in a way, and like create this character that could be like wealthy and huge and changing, mysterious, you know, and kind of like funny in a way. But the humor wasn't like the number one thing for me. It was just like let's change stuff. Let's you know, let's do something that matters actually.
And how did the audience accept it? At first.
Well, at first it was crazy, of course. First it was like fucked up, and it was like weird, really weird. It was a long story. It was just people didn't get it, and didn't know what to think about it. And then the songs helped a lot, because I was getting better at songwriting and beat making. So I made more hits, and when the hits came, everything changed like that, because it's in Czech and it's funny and it's something original for this country, maybe even for the world. I don't know if there's another company. Maybe Oliver Tree that passed away last week. He was like really close to what we were doing, and so it went pretty well. It was a fun story.
You touch on something that's always interested me, because I understand that writing in Czech, making music in Czech, it's quite a flexible language. There's a lot of things you can play with.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but you can...
It's much more harder than in English, actually.
Sure, but you can lean onto Czech and play with words in a certain way. That's I get a lot of this. Sorry, Simon, I can't explain that to you. It's just
really?
it's just Czech. It's too Czech. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for that. If this question is clumsy, I apologize. But your father and your grandfather, obviously famous in their own regard, was Kapitán Demo a part of a way to not distance yourself, but kind of be something very unique?
Interesting question. It's not clumsy at all. I never thought about it that way. Okay. I just didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to do something fun and something different. And I actually respect my ancestors. I respect them, but at the same time, I just don't give a shit about them. Because I never met them, so I don't know what kind of people they were, what kind of characters. And for me, much more interesting and much more challenging is to know a person by the character than his art.
Yeah,
so I just don't know about them that much, and I just love my father, love my family, and I don't judge them, but I think there's something also like slightly personal that I have to deal with, my family line. So it was a lot of work, and I try to live at the present moment, more than just care about who was doing what in the past. I don't care about it that much.
That's a great answer, and but also seems like you're speaking your own language as well.
Yeah.
The way you've gone about it.
Yeah.
So I know a few famous people, not that many, but I certainly know it comes with challenges. Some of it must be that utter excitement by being accepted by, or at least understood or listened to by hundreds of thousands, millions of people sometimes. Can you talk a bit about, and this is a big question, but when you're younger and the energy is running through you, and I can remember this in my 20s, and just everything is possible and parties, how did you cope with that? The fame and all of the things that came around that, because it must come at a price, but it's also in its way beautiful. So how did you, as a person in your 20s, manage that? Because I know you now, in your 40s, so your things have maybe evolved. So, but when you were younger, what was it like?
I guess I just got lucky. I wasn't that big back then, but yeah. And then so I was always free. Because to me, fame is a slavery in a way.
Yes.
Because you get limited a lot, and it can play hideous tricks on your brain, as Morrissey sings. fame. So I got lucky that my fame was building slowly, and
Indeed, yeah.
Until I got the big some success with Kapitán Demo, then, you know, it really changed. It like people are taking pictures with me and stuff, but still I have privacy because it's a mask. So lots of people don't recognize me still. You know?
Yes.
So I'm lucky in that way that I don't need to be exposed that much, you know, and I still have my privacy, which is very important.
I think
for
you seemingly done that very well, yeah, because your most famous alter ego is slightly different looking, yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Exactly. In the show notes, we will provide pictures so we can see what's going on. I have a sort of friend or artist in Krakow called Michael Asgore, and when he creates his work, he's a painter. We bought a piece of his work maybe 10 years ago, and I had a vision of artists, you know, I suppose crazy late nights, cigarettes, alcohol, but he was not like that at all. And when we talked about the painting we wanted to buy, he had like an Excel spreadsheet of all of the things. And he said, this one is 70% done. And he was very controlled, and he did his 7-8 hours a day, and he worked, and he wasn't relying on creativity. He was, you know, he was there.
How old was he?
He was at the time in his late 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
okay,
he was, but it's more that the point was, his approach was very methodological. Like he wasn't waiting for a genie to arrive. He just kept working.
Yeah.
And of course, the question is, where are you on that? Is creativity something that's coming, or do you kind of work certain? I'm going to work from 6 to.
It also depends on the period of time. You know, when I change a lot of, you know. Before I was also like methodical.
Yes. Yeah.
And full of like ambitions and stuff, and that changed because I just think I've had it all, you know. Now I feel like I've had it all, and everything that's coming next is just like a bonus for me. That's how I think about life now. Like so, it's just a balance between doing what I love to do without planning, without thinking, without like worrying and stuff.
Yes.
And also, just like the little, voice in your head that tells you, well, you ain't got much time left. It's like, really, like, you gotta go straight ahead and just, take it. So it's a balance between those two, I think, in my case. But mostly I just don't care, because it's just like I just want to have fun in my life and live in the present moment. Actually, it sounds like a cliche, but it's really the best thing for me. Because
if it's true, it's
yeah. I mean, I don't plan that much, and it's very hard for me to be also like practical because I got 3 kids, I got mortgage, house, and everything. I got a lot of bills to pay, so I have to be in that way, but. I think my wife is helping me a lot to just still be creative and free in a way.
No, I'm. It's good to have a partner in those things, I think.
Yeah.
So I love your song "Party People." By the way,
oh,
I'm a big fan.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
No, it's gorgeous.
It's my favorite one.
Yeah, and it's gentle in a way. It's a gentle song, and it touches me. It's also in English, which is helpful for me. It leads me to a question though about, so you're producing other artists. You've done work with Emma Smetana, by the way, who I saw in concert, and it was all in Czech, and then she sang a song in French.
Oh. Yeah.
And I think she may have sung a couple of English, but
she does English stuff too.
But the French one, because my mother is Belgian, it was like a wow, it really.
She got good French, right?
My French is perfect. Mine isn't, but
she grew up in Paris or something.
Yeah, and she certainly sings with you could imagine that's a French singer. So I was beautiful. But from your perspective, you have your voice, you create great work, but then you're also working with other great artists. How do you work in that area where it's really someone else's voice that your or message or story that you're getting across? How long did it take you to be able to do that? To really effectively do that,
like help them,
deliver their great work. Yeah.
I started like really a long time ago. It was like 2008 or 8. I did first Natalia Kocábová, which is like also interesting soul, and it's then I worked a lot with my father. Like I learned a lot, arranging and producing my father's songs. And then because even in Southpaw we did all the productions and arranges ourselves, so it was just like natural to me, and it's very refreshing to have different songwriters in the room, and you just play, you just make the food spicy, and nothing else. It's just very easy and simple and beautiful, and it's more about psychology of the relationship of the people together in the room, because you realize that there's two kinds of artists in your studio or in your room songwriting. Some of them are using their brains too much, and some of them are just speaking from the soul and heart, which is my way. And so it was very. We were talking about Emma Smetana. She's also one of the head person, head people.
Yes.
So it was very refreshing for me to learn from those people and like from the conflict that we had together.
And that's creative tension in a way.
It's amazing because it's a big lesson for you, So yeah, so it's but I love it as long as there's a good song in the house. I don't care,
Would you like to be famous internationally, like more outside? Like, and there is it's a question of like, you so beautifully say, look, I've achieved so much already. Like everything's a bonus. But
I mean, here, yeah, of course,
yeah, exactly.
But in this little country,
one doesn't want to like create fake ambition or something. But how is that in your head? Like, as in, because you do sing in English, your English is fluent. You even lived in Ireland. If you could understand us speaking, then
of course, yeah.
So where is that in your sort of future planning?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I must say it changed a lot in my head, because I don't know what I'm missing is more friends or more people with the same taste as me. That's what I'm definitely missing, and I know that in some other countries there's much more people like my kind, which is. That's a sad thing for me.
Yes.
But somehow, I don't know if in this life, if I'm meant to be with them or be there, Maybe I have to learn to be humble, That's what I was thinking, because I had so much stuff and so much amazing work, which nobody knows, and like there's no time for me to get it to people, and, because it's a lot of work, and, so I was just thinking one day with my wife, we were having a party together, and also like thinking about stuff in a different way, which we love.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, maybe this is what I have to learn. Like, don't be greedy and just be humble. And because what's the difference? I'm not sure if I want to be on tour for 3 months somewhere alone in a hotel room, all fucking depressed and shit. And missing my family, I don't know if I want that. Actually, what I would want is just to make like few dates, for like maybe 8 dates abroad. I think like 2,000 people in the venue is like enough for me. It's
a good gig in London, or
yeah,
exactly.
And that's it. That's what I would still maybe want. I'm making this project called Kairos Kit, which is like a dance project, actually a healing dance. Just really ecstatic EDM, future bassy. I don't know. It's hard to describe. And I would love to get that stuff abroad a lot, but just don't know how. It's so hard for me, and there's always something else to do here, and so I still don't know if it's for me or no.
Yeah,
if it's needed actually.
Exactly.
Because I was describing it to the sex to your wife. You have amazing intimacy. You have amazing sex together, and it's so amazing. But nobody knows.
Yeah,
just you and your wife. Why does anybody need to know? So it's the same thing with my music. I think like sometimes the best things just are
quiet.
Yeah, and just for you and a few others always.
Maybe just,
So
just by yourself.
this is what's happening in me now. Like in my age now, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm actually happy that way.
Yeah, this might just be enough. But if a gig in Brixton or whatever was on, you'd be happy for that.
Yeah.
Usually, I don't want to make this like overly crazy topics, but
Do anything you want, man.
Great.
I'm
great.
open to anything. I'm like a politician, man. If you give me a bad question, I will just turn it into something else. So don't worry.
it was something you said, and I was thinking, did he say that because he thinks there's another life? Like, are you planning?
Of course.
So you're planning another life afterwards. There's like a. Yeah, this is like more Indian style.
I'm not planning anything. I just think this is how it actually normally goes.
Right. So you believe in life after death?
I don't believe. I know.
Okay, reincarnation.
I have to say, I used to believe, but now I almost know.
Yeah.
I experienced things that were so obvious that it's hard to deny that, And I also learned a few things about my ex-lives.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense, actually.
Can you talk about one of those things? Or is it too
Well, yeah,
private?
I can talk about anything except some like people that like medicine men or people that would love to remain private.
course,
But most of the time I was this like son of the emperor or king or something, or in Indian, Indian chief or something in Native Americans and stuff, and always dealing with music, always being against violence and against wars, which is the same now. And so there was a lot of like things that make sense to me now in this life, and I started to learn a lot of things about my soul, about myself. 15 years ago, I think I started my journey of knowing who am I, what is this, why don't we see what we should see, behind the curtains and stuff. And I'm really spiritual being now, like in a nice way. I think I'm not like, too much, we call it brown in my language, like, when you like to ethno, to
ESO.
Yeah, ESO. I'm not like that, but I just think.
But it's not.
I know stuff now.
It's not an organized religion you're part of, or
There's
anything.
not.
It's just more.
I don't do well with religions, and I think it's just a toy. Religion is just like a color on your, spectrum. It's just like a toy for your mind, because I think that if there's something like being or God or anything, it's so huge and it's so you can't even describe it and you can't even put it to words. So for me, it's endless.
I heard myself saying yesterday, or at least coming to some conclusion that. I don't believe.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, now we're talking. Exactly. I don't believe in God, but I believe that time is like God in that it was there before you were there. It will be there long after humans are gone. Time will still be there, and time can heal. And time is around us, and time is we can't see it per se, but we can see what it does. To people, to buildings, to life. So I believe in time. It's like
in this dimension, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly. In this dimension,
a lot of people say time doesn't exist.
Yeah, when I can't get my brain around the idea of maybe there was cultures like ours a billion years ago somewhere. Like why not? Because yeah, exactly.
Of course it was.
It seems
you just don't remember.
Exactly.
I think our culture was so developed, man.
Yeah.
So we had so many skills that we lost on the way, and even all this like technology and stuff, it's just so many steps back now. So many steps back.
Which leads me to the area of AI, where like, because obviously in your world it can help technically with creating music or whatever, and some would say
it can also
like,
kill music in a way. I don't know. It's a complicated topic because let's just think about it like as a tool. It's a tool. It was like when Photoshop came, or something. It's a tool. I still hope it's a tool in the hands of people, and the humanity is gonna, stay what it actually is, and then I don't, care about like. I'm sorry that a lot of people are losing jobs because of AI. Definitely, that's what I am really. But maybe it's time for them to find a different kind of job. I don't know. I just believe everything is how it's supposed to be in this kind of way. Like
there's a big lie around AI. I mean, a lot of people are losing their jobs not because the AI is doing their job, but because people are spending so much money to build out AI, and they of course need to spend money one place and they can't afford.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how it's going to work out in the next 5 or 10 years. And in my world, because I'm in this kind of the business of AI and the topic around, but more in the creative space, it's clear that a lot of people want to stay very well away from it. Like they don't want AI to touch their creative.
I think it's a challenge for the people actually to stand for humanity, maybe like to be like because if I can talk about my music, I use AI tool just for like some parts of it. I always write my stuff, I always compose it, I always write my lyrics in my music, but I use some instruments or voices from AI, but I'm the author, because I still haven't experienced AI which can write a beautiful song. Some there are some exceptions maybe, but I'm really looking forward to see what's gonna happen. Like if it's really like but I still think like people like us will control AI and use it, as a tool.
Of this,
let's see. I don't know.
My worry is not about that. I really believe it's going to stay in human hands. It's the continued disparity between those who have and those who have not. And that AI simply accelerates that even more. So it's going to be like, for example, the first trillionaire in the world. This is not coincidence. I mean, this is like to do with a variety of aspects around AI and technology that is basically making wealth go that way. So that's going to be messy, and that's going to create social problems for sure. I mean, it's obvious. It's even happening in America now. It's to some degree in Europe, but these are tough topics where God.
Yeah, well, no, it's just life. Well, it's funny in a way. Like as I was talking about the technology, I hope it's going to bring people closer to nature again one day.
I think the old
closer to themselves, actually.
Exactly, and this could be a good thing, at least in the short term. People having more time.
Yeah, because I think once people are sensitive, and like they're like observing what's happening, how they feel and stuff. How do you feel when you look in your phone all the time, and how do you feel when you were walking naked in your garden, like I am every morning, and just like enjoying the nature, enjoying myself? That's a big difference. So I hope, I wish people luck with that thing.
Yeah. We did actually. So yes, we met in the gym, and of course the gym, the gym for me is.
It's amazing, right?
It's amazing. I've got a great trainer.
Sanctuary.
Exactly. And I think the gym literally keeps me together. I think of all the other stuff, it's like it's the glue, because without the muscles, I don't know, I'd be a bit of a mess.
Solid.
But through that, I met you, and then we did cold dipping together. This right? Are they what are your main tools to stay healthy and fit, given that your lifestyle would involve late nights, and a lot of, like, your brain has to be...
Party people, man,
you literally sing about
it. Well, it started, I think, when I was getting closer to 40. Before, I was doing a lot of like qigong and meditations, and also like dark therapy and stuff like that. But when COVID came, I started to do some breath work, and then it obviously led me to the cold plunges and stuff. And now I'm really because after 40, you really have to take care about your body, very well. As I always say, I'm giving back my body what I took from it, before when I was just raining it as a young kid, So yeah, it's a combination of the tricks that I'm using every day, almost every day. Like we really like into longevity and stuff like that. So we use a lot of NAD plus and vitamins, IVs, and red light and cold plunges and cryo. You call it cryo or cryo?
This is where you get iced. Smoky ice.
How do you pronounce it? Cryo or cryo?
Cryogenic, I think.
Cryo,
Cryo.
That's what I. So these are like things we do to stay fit and healthy.
Well, it's working because you look really well there. Fair play.
Yeah,
Give it. Like I'm not doing the cryo yet, though. But, no, I remember you coming up to me saying, "How old are you?" Because I was benching her.
I never know, man. I mean, like I can never tell. Even my kids, like I'm bad in.
I've got a similar issue because if sometimes like, oh God, you're way younger than me. I didn't realize it. So like because you somehow
I think time doesn't exist normally. In this dimension, we have really lost ourselves to time. So we have to measure everything. And
I can tell you one small thing as a foreigner here. I don't have so many points of reference. You don't see my friends. So I'm somehow not.
So no
one knows. Like they go like he could be this, he could be that. So yes,
that's a good thing. Actually.
Yeah, of course it is because you could facially age, but they don't see that. Like my wife is younger, they see like he's older for sure, but So there are all these points of reference.
But sometimes like you watch TV and stuff, and you see those people your age, you're like.
Exactly. I do, or I see photos of my friends.
Like my schoolmates from the we met like after 20 years or something, and it was really like okay.
Jesus Christ! Yeah.
All right. That's what's up.
That's exactly. Dude, you need more cryogenics.
Yeah, some but they all just depends on personalities. There's a lot of my friends my age that are really cool and healthy and everything, and some of them are dead. So it's just like that's the way it is.
I've had a bit of that myself. Yeah. Usually, what's coming up for you next? Like, what are you? I understand you got plenty of concerts coming up. Summer is obviously a busy time for you. So, is it mostly outdoor performances, or are you actually producing much at the moment?
Well, I'm doing a little bit of everything because I'm really attending my studio every day in the week.
Yeah.
I'm working on some movies and TV shows right now. I'm making music for this dark TV show for TV Prima about like murders and like really mysterious stuff, which is good. It's just classical music, really dark. And then I'm making this movie called Line Now, which is going to be about hockey, this comedy. This is a big Czech movie, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'm releasing my 2 albums soon. So I'm releasing a new album with Demo now. It's going to be about the ESO scene, everything, just like conceptual album. And then I'm working on my beloved, on my Kairos Kid project, which is like which is going to be out in the fall, I think. So, and then I'm working with some other artists too, and there's always something to do.
Brilliant. Was there anything else you would have wanted to talk about? Because you're so prolific, it's obvious I can miss a huge part of your life. Yeah.
I don't think I'm just. I don't know. I would just like wish the people to find themselves and be loving and respectful to each other, which is really important. And don't watch the news and don't let the evil to be in the spotlight that much.
Don't let the evil win.
Yeah. It's just like focus on the good things and good things even in the people. But this one more thing that I learned about people, you got a lot of friends that are not like simple, simply nice, simply good. They have a lot of colors. So I always look for the brightest one, and then like forgive the dark sides, you know, the parts of the people, which was really big school to me also, big lesson. So just find the flame and, you know, and let it glow.
I like that idea. Find the brightest color and remember that, because none of us are perfect and we're on a spectrum. Okay, so it's really cool. Usually, thanks so much, man.
Thank you,
that was
man.
so
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
You're awesome.